Okay, afternoon, lads. This is Paul B here today to try and practice this revision tool. Bear with me, it's new. And the topic today, the first topic is CSR. So, CSR, as you know, is corporate means business. So, the first thing it wants you to know in this exam is that you know that CSR is about a business's approach to consider its impacts on society and the environment. Okay, so the society and the environment, businesses use a lot of plastics, they have a lot of big CO2 emissions, a lot of lights. So the business's job is to try and make sure that it thinks about its use of plastics to try and reduce that, so it doesn't end up in the sea. And it doesn't just do it because they love this, they want to make the world a better place. They think that they'll sell more if they've got a good CSR policy, because people are more and more bothered about good businesses and the way they operate. So it's thinking about society and the environment. Now remember, some of these global businesses, societies can be in different countries. So there's a whole host of other things um, that we'll cover a little bit later on. So the next part of the definition talks about the creating benefits. So as I say, the environment, like the benefits that their business practices create, work in a sustainable way to benefit the environment, to benefit people economically, okay, or economic. So they should consider the economic benefits, um, and also society itself. So that means it can also be community. So it thinks about the community in which it operates. So it makes the communities a better place because people run businesses. So to sum that up, the proper definition would be a business's approach to consider the impacts on society and the environment, and to consider the sustainable benefits in terms of economic, social, and environmental um, positives for overall. So they're the key words that you need to try and do. I'll read over it, but that's what it's about. So the next bit, I'm going to change the colour there, see whether I can change that to. Let's go with a bit of blue, eh? See how the blue looks. So what does CSR involve then, looking at those above points? Well, first thing, what does it, we used everything in the community, and that's why I've used this colour, is because everything in the community do a lot of community projects. So if you think about Everton and what they do and how they engage, as Elliot said, it's the People's Club. It's got a good reputation, so it has a positive reputation because of what it does. It also makes sure that it adheres to the laws. Now that could be laws and regs. So that could be employment law. So people are paid the correct amount. Oh, pens docked off there. So employment law, they have to make sure that they meet that as part of that. The other thing is they've got to consider is generally is ethics. So now ethics means treating people right or doing things right. What can it do to do things right? Well, it can have environmental policies. So it can have enviro policies. And big businesses like Nike and all the rest of it, even Sports Direct, they will have environmental policies that have shown you to actually look at plastic usage, and year on year they'll try and reduce the amount they use so that actually they have less damage and less of a carbon footprint. The other thing that they should be thinking about is this word. So in terms of exploitation of people, the CSR covers, and that could be their own staff, but also customers. Okay, so customers. One thing for sure is that Sports Direct definitely don't um, exploit customers because they offer low prices. But what they do, or it's reported they do, is they treat staff badly. That means the six strike rule, not a lady having a baby in the women's toilets because she's scared of losing a job. All that has a negative impact when the media get hold of it, and it's exploitation of staff. So CSR stops that and makes sure that things are done in a fair and sensible way. The other key point here is looking at the actual equality and diversity. So under CSR and what CSR includes, so equality and diversity, what does that mean? I think you know equality and diversity is about getting a range of different people and talents into the business from a range of different backgrounds, because it's proven to actually benefit the business if you do that. So CSR will try and open up its channels to different types of employee with different skill sets to make it better for the business overall. The last one in there is that I may have missed was looking at the exploitation in terms of if you've got a global business abroad. We talked a little bit about the modern slavery laws, and that was connected to making sure you've got things in place to prevent modern slavery, because these garments are not made locally, they're made in another country, so they've got to be careful how the quality assure the people that manufacture the kits and stuff like that under this CSR. Right, okay, so importance of it then, and the access word for each one. This one's importance, this one, we talk about what, and that's a definition. What the importance of CSR in terms of organisations is, if you do community projects, you're going to have a positive social and community impact. So positive social and community impact, which benefits, which allows you to meet your social and community responsibilities. Okay, so by doing this, it's deemed that if you're selling to people in the area, you should be trying to meet your social responsibilities. So doing things for people in that community, you're making a profit off them. This in turn will obviously improve your rep. So it'll improve your reputation, and so more people in turn might buy off you in future, right? So develop corporate image. Now it's a separate mark in the spec, and I wondered what's different between reputation and image. Well, reputation is what people say about you, and the image is the way you look. So you can have a terrible reputation but look great, and you can look great but have a terrible reputation. You can look really good from a corporate image standpoint if you look great about the brand, but people are talking negatively about that brand. And I think that's what that means. And it's two. These are all marks, so you'd have 1, 2, 3 points. And CSR makes people. It's proven that people buy of companies that are thinking about the environment, that treat the staff well. People buy off them more. In fact, they can command a bigger price. So it's proven that coffees that work fairly. It's not related to sport, but they can ask for a bigger price because people get treated in the right way. Right. Okay. So if you do that with Everton, you can see what's called commercial success. So it's important, CSR, because it's proven to positively impact and link with success. So people see it, it's out there, the brand gets bigger, and it can be a success indicator. It's also good a little bit of a mistake there. Can I go back? There's a typo there. So it's also good for as a strategy, a marketing strategy, because people look and they go, "Oh, look at Everton, they're great, and they do a lot for the community." So when they make decisions, they think that's a better business. I prefer to give the business to Everton rather than or work with Everton instead. So it can benefit the business that way, and it can be used to sort of get your message out there of all the positives that you're doing in the community. Which, if you've got that ability, will allow you. It can enable, not to be. It can enable access to more funding. So if you've got a CSR, it'll allow you, when it comes to obtaining bids, and that is in the previous 5.5, if you've got a CSR policy, you've got a better chance of getting funding to run programs, and you can take on volunteers and all the rest of it. So it's really good in terms of that, because it shows that you're doing a lot for people in the community and benefiting the community. Okay, so that's there's 7 point there, I think. Yeah, I've counted 7. And people care more. So now people care more about CSR. So now people are making decisions on who they buy from and what they buy as a result of looking at whether they do things right way, because people now think that it's simply the correct thing to do. So because to do correct thing to do from an ethics point of view. So people now believe that to it's right to make sure that these businesses are looking after society, and they're looking at no 0 hour contracts, looking after the staff, paying them the right amount of money, and that they are pumping money back into the community and developing community elements, that they are meeting the requirements in terms of the environment, and they're not plundering the environment, they're not ripping customers off. And we talked about Liverpool Football Club having to climb down over ticket prices. They are employing different people with a range of different talents and skill sets, so it's open to different jobs are open to different people, and that's what it involves, and the importances are all there in red. So hopefully this will help, and it's give an overview in a different way to try and get you to understand it. Okie dokie. Thanks for listening. I'll try and do it better next time. Make sure you read up.